In the year the conflict broke out in northern Ethiopia, estimates indicate that more than 2.7 million children remain out of school, since schools are either damaged, destroyed, or are sheltering IDPs, internally displaced people. A report released in May by Human Rights Watch concluded that all warring parties in Tigray have been implicated in the attacking, pillaging, and occupying of schools since the conflict started. Beyond Tigray, the conflict has expanded to Afar in Amhara region. In August, the Ministry of Education announced in a press conference that more than 7,000 educational institutions have been targeted by TPLF fighters in towns of Tigray, Afar, and Amhara regions. However, this statement is yet to be independently verified by relevant bodies. In September, the Afar Regional Education Bureau led a multi-agency assessment together with UNICEF in woredas affected by the conflicts in the Afar region. The assessment identified that over 450 schools were affected. In general, a total of 88,846 students enrolled in 455 schools, and more than 2,000 teachers from 13 woredas of Zone 1, 2, and 4 are affected by the current conflict. In Zone 1, 121 educational institutions were affected, out of which 85 primary schools, 30 ABE or alternative basic education, and 7 secondary schools were affected. In Zone 2, 252 educational institutions were affected, and out of which 196 were primary schools, 48 were ABE, and 8 were secondary schools. In Zone 4, 90 educational institutions were affected, 59 were primary schools, 28 were ABE, and 3 were secondary schools. Some educational institutions were damaged by the conflict as they were directly targeted. A specific instance was the shelling of a health facility and school sheltering IDPs in Afar by the TPLF on August 5, killing more than 200 people, including more than 100 children. TPLF has denied the allegation and has called for an independent investigation. Other educational institutions were damaged by IDPs occupying schools as shelters, while others were damaged by TPLF when they were being temporarily used as military settlement centers. Schools are considered as civilian objects, which may not be targeted under international humanitarian law. However, they are badly affected in conflicts. This means thousands of children are denied access to education, and where the government lacks capacity or will to rebuild these facilities, resuming class could take years. The amount of cost required to re-establish the educational facilities totally or partially destroyed in the Afar region is estimated at 253 million birr. However, the greater loss, which remains uncalculated, is the future of these children. A collective effort from the government, UN agencies, NGO partners, and stakeholders, including the community, is required to fix the problem that the educational sector is facing due to the conflict that has spread into the Afar and Amhara region and to bring the children back to school.